WNEM TV5 News starts right now with a breaking news alert.
And that breaking news, a tip leads police in Bay City to an active meth lab. It happened on the city's south side in the 1200 block of Lafayette Avenue.
Bay City police tell us the lab was smoldering inside when they arrived. WNEM TV5 Sherry Hardman live and local in Bay City with much more. Sherry.
Katie, Sam, police are still on the scene at this house right here on Lafayette. They tell me that they are actively investigating a meth lab that was found in the garage of this house. They also say they found chemicals inside the house as well. Police tell me that they got a tip about 24 to 48 hours about a meth lab happening in the garage of this house. They have told me that there was 3 people in the house at the time of the raid. They have taken 2 people into custody, 1 male, 1 female, and they also tell me that there were children who actually stay in this house, but they say that no children were home at the time. Back here live on the scene, police tell me that they are actively investigating this scene. Neighbors tell me that they are shocked by the news that there is a meth lab happening on this street. They say this street has dozens of children on this street, and so they are really shocked. They say they don't know the neighbors very well, but they are surprised that something like this is happening on this street. Reporting live in Bay City, Sherry Hardman, WNEM TV5.
All right, Sherry, thank you, and stick with TV5 for continuing coverage on this story. We'll have much more tonight at 11.
Developing tonight, police say 2 bodies found in an Ingham County motel room may be those of a missing couple from Port Hope. Police say Gary Buchholz drove his wife from their home to a motel in Ingham County where he shot and killed her, then turned that gun on himself. And tonight we've learned that Buchholz has a history in law enforcement. TV5's Brian Wood has more tonight from the Thumb.
Well, certainly is a tragedy that occurred here. But
Huron County Sheriff Kelly Hansen talking about former Bad Axe Police Chief Gary Buchholz, who hired him on the force more than 20 years ago.
And I left here full-time in 1989 to work full-time in the city of Bad Axe in 1989 and worked there for a couple of years for him.
But on Tuesday, the former police chief may have found himself on the other side of the law. Police believe that Buchholz abducted his wife Rhonda from their Port Hope home, drove her to Mason, just south of Lansing, where he repeatedly shot her and then turned a shotgun on himself. Their injuries so severe that their identities have yet to be confirmed. A medical examiner will have to rely on dental records to do that. No one here at the Bad Axe Police Department or City Hall, which is right around the corner, wanted to talk about the case, saying that they want to respect the privacy of the family.
There's people have been left behind, and there's a daughter, a young daughter that's been left behind. It's going to have some real tough times in front of her, along with the family.
And City Council member Bill Cleland, who hired the former police chief back in the 80s, said that this is a tragedy for the community and the families.
Our prayers go out to their little girl, 5 years old. I have a granddaughter about that age, and I wonder how they would struggle with it. So we definitely will keep them in our prayers.
In Bad Axe, Brian Wood, WNEM TV5.
Police have yet to positively identify the bodies, but it's expected that autopsies released later will confirm that it is the Buchholz.
A live look over a dark Saginaw where we're hearing another round of snow showers are headed our way. Meteorologist Catherine Bodek in for Darren tonight with a look at that. Catherine.
Thanks, Katie. We do have some snow showers in that forecast, but light accumulations this time are possible. Nothing like the snowstorm we just had a couple days ago. Let's check out our first Warn 5 pinpoint Doppler radar at MBS, where you can see those dry conditions in place. But as I broaden the view a little bit on our Doppler network, you can see that this system is moving into parts of northern Michigan right now. But as it makes its way into mid-Michigan, that's when we're seeing those temperatures drop to around the freezing mark, and that'll all change to snow showers. Right now, many spots are dealing with those winds in between 3 and 8 miles per hour, mainly out of the southwest, but you can see Houghton Lake getting those northwesterly winds. That's what's going to change in the overnight as well, besides receiving those snow showers. And with the wind out there, wind chill values right now feeling like they're in the upper 20s and low 30s. Now, coming up in about 10 minutes, we will time those snow showers out with your first Warn 5 48-hour futurecast. Plus, we'll also be talking about those snow totals and a dry forecast on tap for your Friday. All that and much more coming up in just a few minutes.
Catherine, thank you. New at 6, Governor Snyder making a stop in mid-Michigan to unveil a new website that could help you find a job. The governor spoke at Delta College with a message to both employers and job seekers. WNEM TV5's Liz Gilardi has a look at what it means for you.
It's about results.
A new website, mitalent.org. It's a resource for job seekers, students, veterans, employers, and entrepreneurs.
So it's both a short-term tool for job seekers, a long-term tool for career builders, and a great site that I encourage employers to go to put in those jobs.
Governor Rick Snyder unveiled the new website at Delta College, where soon-to-graduate students will need to search for jobs. The governor says thousands of positions remain unfilled because it's hard to find people with the right skills. He talked about the need for retraining programs that work with companies.
We need to have innovative programs like you saw on this chart, where great companies have stepped up, like Dow, working with Delta College.
If you don't have an internet hookup at home, you'll be able to access the website at Michigan Works locations or a local library. And people here at this office are pretty excited about it.
So we're really happy to see this coming into place, and it's going to be a great benefit for the employers in our region and the job seekers in our region.
Governor Snyder also wants to change the unemployment system by creating a work-sharing program. Instead of laying people off, businesses can reduce their employees' hours while they receive partial unemployment. He also wants to see self-employment assistance, benefits for unemployed workers who are trying to start their own business.
We see people every day who are serious job seekers. This is going to make their job search just that a little bit easier.
Using the new website as another tool for reducing unemployment. On the campus of Delta College, Liz Gilardi, WNEM, TV5.
Now, that new website will be launched in phases, and it will be completed in June of 2012.
All right, tonight both sides of CMU's contract debate are still in court. We just got off the phone with the Faculty Association's president, and she tells us that negotiations will continue into the evening. The university and its professors have been at odds over salaries, benefits, and union rights since their last contract ended in June. The trial for two men accused of shooting and killing a local college student continued today. Yesterday, we heard from Katie Allen, the woman who says that Sean Stennett took bullets for her the night that he was murdered. Her roommate and the roommate's boyfriend testified today, sharing similar stories. Stephen Rembish and Jonathan Jones both face first-degree murder charges for Stennett's death.
Tonight, police say they've solved several breaking and entering cases in Bay County, including one case where a lot of golf carts were vandalized and had their batteries stolen out of them. Troopers say 4 Pinconning area men confessed to the crimes at the Green Hills Golf Course, along with 2 break-ins at 2 homes. State police have not yet released the suspects' names. And check this out. A full milk truck and a train collide. Nobody was seriously hurt. It happened at around 10 this morning near Alameda Beach and Kaiser Road in Bay County. That's south of Pinconning. The train had its horn on, but the driver of the milk truck says he didn't see it or hear it. The driver had some minor injuries and was ticketed.
And firefighters called out to Zenders and Frankenmuth this morning after passers-by reported seeing flames shooting from the restaurant's chimney. Officials tell us the fire was contained to the chimney, and while there was smoke in the building, only minor damage was reported. Nobody was hurt. The business was open today.
And tonight we're learning some very grim details about a case of child abuse in Genesee County. A 4-year-old beaten for hours, allegedly at the hands of her mother's live-in boyfriend. Jessica Mackey has that story now.
I just can't believe it.
Michelle Thomas is shocked. A 4-year-old girl her daughter often played with was allegedly beaten and abused inside this mobile home.
That makes me sick, actually. I just can't even imagine doing something like that to a 4-year-old.
On Saturday, the Genesee County Sheriff's Office and Linden Police Department were called to this mobile home park in Fenton Township. That's where they discovered 4-year-old Sharon Fisk with bruises, a black eye, and blisters on her. Sheriff Robert Pickell says Sharon's sister's boyfriend, John Cherez, began beating Sharon after she accidentally kicked his son in the eye while running through the house.
The defendant became extremely angry, grabbing little Sharon by her arm, which caused bruising to that area.
The sheriff says the alleged abuse that happened inside this home was so severe that he said it was more like torture.
Our investigation further revealed that he began hitting her in the face and body over a 4-hour period. During that 4-hour time period, he poked her in the eye between 20 and 40 times. We further know that John Cherez had her stand in a corner, upright, from 1.5 to 2 hours, where he placed a space heater directly above her feet, which caused a severe burning.
As for neighbors that knew Sharon, like Michelle Thomas, she says she's thinking of the little girl and hoping for the best.
It's just really sad.
In Fenton Township, Jessica Mackey, WNEM TV5.
Both children that lived in that home have been placed in protective custody. Cherez faces a count of first-degree child abuse. He's in the Genesee County Jail tonight on a $10,000 bond. Now, all of this comes as Dominic's law still continues to work its way through the state legislature. A Mid-Michigan family helped create that law, named after 4-year-old Dominic Calhoun. Prosecutors say that little boy was beaten to death over a course of several days. The law calls for strengthening punishment for child abusers. We want to know, what do you think can be done to better protect kids in the state of Michigan? Email your thoughts to WNEM@WNEM.com or sound off on our Facebook page.
WNEM TV5 News still ahead.
If you are expecting famine and earthquakes for the end of the world in 2012, think again. Find out what one expert says will really happen.
A local group breathing new life into a historical home. Find out about the changes coming to the Hill House.
A few more dollars out of your pocket. We're going to tell you about the new health insurance taxes you could start paying as soon as next year.
This is TV5 News at 6, serving Standish, Millington, Ashley, and your hometown too.
It is coverage you can count on. We'll be right back.
Let's get us on we're on a different.
You're watching Mid-Michigan's #1 6 o'clock news, WNEM TV5 News. Coverage you can count on.